Hi, everybody. Hold on, I want to view me. Hold on. Speaker. If you're just joining us, you're going to want to mute yourselves. And we're going to try and do this in 30 minutes or less. I've been doing this a while now, and so I kind of have it down to a science. But I also have to pick somebody up at the train station in half an hour, or in about 45 minutes. So I have somebody coming in from Germany that's got a film at a local film festival. So let me get to my notes. I was coming in hot because I had a parent who they thought the time was 6:30. Sister was supposed to pick her up, blah, blah, blah. Kid starts crying. I said, don't cry. Your parents always overschedule themselves. It's not their fault. By the way, it's week 1. Get over it. It's fine. And I just said, the dad's like trying to explain. I go, no time to explain. Got to go to the parent meeting. See you online in a few minutes. So it's okay if you guys are late. My husband always gets mad when I'm late for dinner or something. I'm like, it happens. Stuff happens. There's a traffic accident and whatnot. Just try and be on time. The kids get more upset because this girl today was like, my mom and dad are never late. I'm like, it's okay. It happens. They probably just didn't know what time pickup time was. It's fine. Welcome everybody to Beauty and the Beast. We had one of our largest turnouts for a show. Haven't had this many kids audition for a show since Frozen. So that's kind of the popularity of this show and Disney in general. They kind of do well for us. For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to briefly explain my story. You can ask me questions about my backstory. But I grew up in Solana Beach. I went to Solana Vista, Skyline, and then I went to Santa Fe Christian for high school. Once I graduated high school, I kind of wanted to work in entertainment. I didn't know where to go. I didn't have the greatest grades, so I went to junior college. I went to Palomar College for 2 years, figured out, light bulb went off by taking a class where I ran cameras for public access back in the days. And I thought, oh, you don't have to write papers. This is what I want to do. So I really got a taste of working in the arts from that level. And I ended up getting into USC Film School miraculously and graduated with my degree in cinema. And my first job in Hollywood, which is kind of funny because I had lunch with one of my coworkers. My first job in Hollywood was I was a tour guide at Paramount Studios. And so one of my other fellow tour guides is actually going to be performing in a show at our studio at the end of April. So it's kind of full circle for me. It was really fun. So then I had a 25, 30-year career in Hollywood, realized I forgot to get married and have children, and kind of gave up my career and decided I needed to find a husband. And so I met my wonderful husband, and his 8-year-old daughter was in a really awesome production of Wizard of Oz, and it was all run by volunteers at a Boys and Girls Club. And so I just went to her show. The second show she was in, I decided to volunteer as a way to bond with her, and I did. And I had so much fun. I then did 6 casts of Annie as their stage manager, and I just kept showing up and showing up and showing up and not continuing to take the commute to Los Angeles. This was in Orange County. And I told my husband, I said, I think I can not have to go to work every day and live off some of my discretional income that I had a rental property, and just do this full time. And he's like, I support that because you're kind of doing something with our daughter. So I kind of gave up my whole film career to run this children's theater in Orange County. I had such a great time. Then I went and I taught at a high school. Then my husband got transferred down to San Diego, and I'm like, well, I'm from San Diego. I should just copy my program in Orange County and stop commuting to Orange County. So that's what I did. And I started Hey Jojo Productions about 10 years ago as a children's theater out of the Carmel Valley Youth Arts Academy. And I started with 4 students. One was my daughter, one was my next door neighbor, one was my hairdresser's daughter, and some random kid that signed up. And from there, I kept growing and growing and growing to what I had this last weekend with 150 kids auditioning for Beauty and the Beast. So yay! I've been in our theater space for 6 years now. We expanded last year. The success of Frozen allowed us to put some monies towards our expansion. And so I really depleted all of our savings and everything that we had. We're still paying off some COVID debt and things like that. But it's been a huge undertaking to expand, but it's paying off because now we have this beautiful space. Everyone says, what does a show cost and where do our fees go and things like that. I keep our costs pretty low. I know my competitors are, most of them are twice as much as I am. And people ask me, oh, why don't you raise prices? I don't think to raise prices in just admission fees is fair. I want you to know that it goes to pay our rents and run our programs, which covers costs of things like t-shirts, scripts, in some instruction, and what else does it pay for? Our rent, internet, lights, stuff like that, you know, AC in the summers, all that kind of stuff. So all those fees that you guys pay kind of cover my runway costs of staying in our space. Rights to a show, every show has different performance rights. So you pay per performance. So if I have more cast and I have to do more performances, it just costs me more money. But I pay all of our rights. We're completely legal, which kind of brings me to my next topic is a lot of theater companies, they do like mashups or they do shows illegally. A lot of times your Boys and Girls Clubs and your YMCAs, they don't pay for full rights. And it really drives me bonkers, because it's not fair to the people who wrote the show. So I come from a producer background of Hollywood, and I really love the artists. So I want to give, I pay all of our fees and all of our rights to our artists. But people don't understand that that costs money. My theory has always been, put on the best show you can and the money will come. I love giving these kids like a wonderful space to perform in, and that's why I spend our money on renting out facilities like our Roger Row, which is where we're going to do this show. Our space is basically a rehearsal space and good for summer camps and for small productions and things like that. I love the big stages, and the kids do too. They cost money. To rent Roger Row for just Moana, for example, was over $8,500. And people go, oh, I didn't know it was that expensive. Now that's just the rental space. I also paid for professionals to run the lighting and sound. We brought in extra lighting, extra microphones, all that stuff. So it cost me over $25,000 to put on these productions. So when parents call me up and tell me, oh, we can't, we've got to go to Susie's birthday party during tech, I'm like, I just spent $25,000 to put this show on for your kid. Your kid's coming to tech. So that's why my dates are so important to me. So respect the efforts that we put in at Hey JoJo into the productions, and then I'll try and understand what you guys are all thinking about. A lot of times I make a consensus. I like it to liken it to when a kid tells me, oh, we made the playoff games. And I say, oh, that's great, they made the playoff games. But guess what? Tech and dress rehearsals are my playoffs. So please try and respect our playoffs at the theater and make sure your kids pay attention to those important dates that are going to come down the pike. Okay, I'm just reading my notes. Oh. The other thing I do is we provide scholarships for families. Roughly right now, I have about anywhere from 5 to 7% of our population is on scholarships. Some are partial, some are full. And I raise money through foundations and donations. If you work for a corporation and your company does corporate giving, please sign us up. I'm all about it. If you have a foundation or a family giving plan, great. We on our website, you'll see that we have annual giving. And so we kind of do a big ask on Giving Tuesday, which is like the Tuesday after Thanksgiving in late November, early December. The other day I ask people to make donations is World Theater Day. And World Theater Day is this year on March 27th. And so you will see that come through. And I'm raising funds for specifically scholarships, as well as our leadership and training program. People go kind of get confused of what that is. Basically, I'm trying to provide a location for teenagers specifically. So middle school to high school students where they are getting their first jobs. There's this like gap when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, where they can't really get a job yet. And they want it, but they want a job. So they come and work for me. And what I do is I'll give them like a stipend for the summer, $100 a week. They come every day. They're helping me out. They're learning a trade. And then I'm trying to help them get their first jobs. I write recommendations. I do letters for them. I help them out periodically. I'll buy them pizza. I do gift cards. I have a lot of my teenagers will work like karaoke nights for me. And oftentimes I'm buying gift cards for them and things like that. So the funds that I can raise on like World Theater Day are going towards scholarships and our LIT program. We are a nonprofit, so I do not make a salary. Again, I'm a volunteer, and everybody on my staff and my board, we're all volunteers. So our two amazing moms, Natalie and Sarah, who do all of our costuming, they're complete volunteers. I do pay our musical director, Michael, and I do pay for professional lighting and sound because it's just needed. A lot of professional theaters don't pay well, and it drives all of us bonkers. We're like, oh my God, the person who runs, let's say the La Jolla Playhouse, they might write themselves a salary for $300,000, but then they're paying their like head lighting guy $20 an hour. And it's really like not livable funds for a working professional. So I'd rather pay my working professional $30, $32 an hour, and I don't take a salary. So that's kind of my philosophy. Our sets are also designed by an awesome dad. His daughter played Moana. His name is Carlos, and he's just amazing, and it's kind of like his craft thing. But if you're also like a crafter, let us know. Or like to build stuff. There's a bunch of different things to build in this show. One of them is Maurice's contraption. So just think about that. If you want to join that team, let us know, sign us up. Our choreographers, one's in high school and one's in middle school. So Emmy Claire, she has got a very busy schedule. She goes to LCC. She's on the dance team, but she's also a competition dancer, and she's like won all these awards. She's like in the top 10 of the nation. She's really awesome. And she is spending her spring break teaching Portia, and they're laying down some of the dance breaks. And then Portia, who's in middle school, with my help, she's part of the LIT program. Portia's going to be teaching your kids the dances. So sometimes, you know, I have to take a little bit more time. I get a little frustrated, but it's about teaching them how to teach kids, and they're getting it, and they're learning, and they're starting to understand the spatialness. Our other great, awesome volunteers are Terry and Christina. They're doing the programs. A lot of theaters are getting away with printing programs, and they're just cheap, and they're doing digital programs. There's the same amount of work. I'm like, why don't you print them? I don't get it. To me, a program is a keepsake that your kids are going to keep for a lifetime. And how I offset our costs are by you all buying ads to go into the program. So that'll come out in probably about a month. And if you're interested, and I'll put it up pretty soon on our website so you can purchase ads, and I shoot them off to Terry and Christina, and they put together our booklet. Our booklets will get pretty thick now. They're up to about 30 pages, but it's because of all the ads that you guys are putting in the programs. So that's good. Sometimes your kids need a little extra help. I can only afford so many lessons. I keep our musical director on a retainer, and sometimes he'll do an assessment of your child. He was actually in town during auditions and did the callback class, and then I videotaped all of the callbacks, and together we kind of discussed like who needed help, who we thought were, you know, on pitch and all that kind of stuff. So we really kind of talked back and forth about everybody who got lead parts and whatnot. And he's going to be doing a couple of big classes. We're going to do like a Mrs. Potts day and a Lumiere day and a Beast day. And then if you feel like your kid needs a little extra attention or something of that nature, listen to it and do it. It is not a sprint. It takes a long time to develop a voice. It's just like you can't expect your kid to win, a 100-yard dash with 2 lessons with a coach. It's like, no, they got to run every day and they got to work out and they got to stretch and they got to practice. It's the same thing. Your voice is a muscle and it needs to be exercised. And so we keep trying to tell parents this. They think they book a bunch of lessons with him right at the very end, the last 2 weeks. He's like, why don't they start earlier? So he records all the lessons with the kids so they can go back. And if you can't afford all these lessons, he records it so you can play it back and they can just keep practicing at home. And that's your job, is to kind of keep helping them with that. So again, I could pay for a few, but I can't pay for everybody. So and we'll do a couple group classes so everybody gets a little taste of having a lesson with Michael. One of the other things I will send you, if you participated in the audition workshop, I sent it to you already, but there's a warm up and I will be sending that to you all. That he pre-recorded with one of our bells, Lila. And so that's just a good thing to have too. I also have a grant writer. Her name is Stacy Sweeting. She's not on this call. So again, that's if somebody's got like a company who wants to do some corporate giving and things like that, and you just don't know what to do, and you have a lady in your office, let me know. I got somebody that I can say, they go out to lunch and they'll figure out how to keep some of our programs alive. Our tech staff is a little changed. I had a wonderful, awesome dude named Andrew Miller who's been with me for years. He helped me probably the last 5 years really kind of shape the company. He is on a big project and he's doing a little traveling this year, specifically during this show. So we have put into place Tony, who did all the sound design for Moana, and a young gentleman named Ethan. And so Tony and Ethan are our professionals when we move to our theater. You'll see them around though. They kind of like help me out at the studio as well. Let's say your kid gets sick, has COVID. Let's say they get lice. Don't bring them to school and don't bring them to the theater. I really appreciate that. It takes a village to kind of explain all that. But a lot of times people are like, oh, she's not feeling good. I'm like, keep them home. I don't want to get sick. I kind of have a desk now that I'm like, I don't want the kids to touch me almost, but the kids are so cute. They always want to come up and give me hugs and stuff like that. Sort of used to it. Lice, we're coming into lice season as the weather warms up. The little bugs like to come out, is what I like to say. So we are big believers in wig caps here and try not to share wigs. We do spray them every night. And as I say that, I'm now itching my head. And we just tell kids, don't share hats, don't share hairbrushes. We'll get to hygiene when we get into tech week and stuff like that. Because if your kid's in 5th grade or older, they have to wear deodorant. It's just a thing. They start to smell, and it's really hot on stage. Snacks. Snacks is very popular at Hey JoJo. All your kids this week got a little taste of what snack is like. I don't provide the snacks, you all provide the snacks. So if you want more healthy snacks, great. I have banned Cheetos. So if your kid loves Cheetos, sorry, they're not allowed at the studio. I'm almost there with goldfish crackers and fruit snacks. Fruit snacks are the healthiest choice, and they're totally easy because nobody with nut allergies and stuff like that. But Cheetos, I swear to you, the kids step on them and they get all over my theater, and I can't do the Cheetos anymore. But I really try and hit it home for the kids to eat outside and throw away their trash. We ask each parent to bring at least 24 snacks during the run of the show. If we run low, I kind of shoot it out and bring some more snacks. All the kids really appreciate it, and I try and police that they get one snack per rehearsal, not more. Because sometimes they're like, but I didn't eat. My dad's not taking me to dinner. It's like, I am not dinner snack woman. It's just one snack for snack.
For summer session.
Summer session's different. Okay, so that's just for this. And you can bring the snack anytime. A lot of times people bring them right at the beginning. It's fine. I kind of hold a stockpile in the back room, and then I just dole them out each time. So just start bringing snacks when you can. handing out roles and our basic philosophy. Usually I try not to give a new kid the lead role unless somebody truly blew me away and their callback, and then I do. We try and be very fair. It's not always about who gave the best performance. It's about who's been the best kid. So the ones that pick up their trash, they're nice. They don't throw down their costumes. They hang up their costumes and they're helpful backstage. They help the little ones. You know, they help the little ones get dressed, calm them down, don't make a mess. They're not divas. They're nice to the backstage crew. My backstage crew is very much into telling JoJo who was mean backstage and who had an attitude and things like that. So they tell me all the time. So if they can be good citizens backstage and kind to me and the staff, that's key to getting better roles, and taking out my trash at the end of the day. So it's like, if your kid got a lead, have them take out some trash. I do appreciate it, and I also just really try and aim them to be better individuals. I'm not the theater company that only has like their top 10 kids and they always cast the same 10 kids. I really try and mix it up. And in fact, I told the kids, as I've been doing cast reveals a week, if they were an ocean person and had 0 lines in Moana, I tried to give each and every one of them some lines in this show. So that was really important to me. Oh, so another thing is we are community theater, and so community theater is only supported by its community. So I asked the kids, what kind of community service have you done? I come from, my background is, my mom is Marion Dotson, and she was on the first city council here in Solana Beach. So my mom had me pick up trash, work different parades, go to all these different events and set up chairs and tables and chairs and stuff like that. I currently sit on the board of the Solana Beach Civic and Historical Society, and in fact, tomorrow, I have 3rd graders from Solana Vista coming to our museum, and we're always looking for kids and families to come help and set up our chairs, come to our events, do this stuff. So if you see me, that's why. It's because it's community support. And there's no bigger community support than if you actually ever run for city council, because that's crazy town community support. I'll let you know, there's not just helping out in the children's theater, and helping out with the historical society, but also my sister is on the board at the CRC, which is the Community Resource Center in Encinitas, which helps the homeless. I have another parent who's on our board. She runs Backpack for Kids, which they put food for kids who need food here in Solana Beach into backpacks, and that these kids bring backpacks back and forth and they fill them up with food every week. So if there's ways you want to get more involved, that's another way. Another way is to help us. On Thursdays after Easter, we're going to start doing a crafting class co-op, if you will. We're going to make costumes, props, do different painting projects and crafts. I have a kind of a group of moms that kind of came out of Moana. We've been doing it in the last couple of shows, and it's been really fun. So we're going to continue that. I just needed a couple weeks. So you'll start to see some stuff on that. So if you're a crafter or a sewer, a lot of parents are like, I don't sew, but I can craft. And that's just glue gunning stuff onto different things. We'll have projects every week, and we're going to kind of meet every Thursday from about 10 to noon. So you can drop your kids off school, come hang out and craft for a couple hours, and then go pick up your kids or get lunch or whatever. So we're going to make that a regular thing on Thursdays. Another thing is teenagers. So if you have a sibling to one of your little ones and they want to kind of help out, they should be volunteering too, and they can join us backstage and help us out. I had a wonderful grandfather who brought his grandson to help me offload my truck during Moana, and I was so gracious because my husband was working. I had nobody to help me offload, and this teenage, he was like 13 or 14, he helped me so much. He got up in the rafters and brought stuff down and helped me out, and he was like, this is kind of fun, JoJo, I'll do it every time. And I said, well, la-di-da, you just got some community service learning points, and I write letters. So my big thing, and I'm going to tell you a true story. When my daughter was applying to colleges, her coach in water polo didn't write her recommendation letters to her colleges. And so she didn't get into any of the water polo programs that she wanted to get into because the coach kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I said, I will never do that to those kids. I will always make it a priority to write your kids college letters. So as your kids need service learning points and they need college letters, I write them all the time. I kind of have a standard down, and but I make them personal to each one that helps me out. So if you're looking for something for your kids to do in that 12 to 18 range, call me up. I need camp counselors. I need people to help us in box office, help us backstage, work periodically. Can they make money? Sure, but I got to raise more money for the LIT program to do so. So you kind of see my circle. So I'd love to pay them more. I don't always raise enough money. But we can give on Giving or World Theater Day. Okay, so if your kid loses their script or their t-shirts, it's on you. So you can download this script on the internet real easily. And I have a link on my desktop, and I can shoot you the link, but they only get one script. So sometimes they'll like say, oh, but you have these extras, JoJo's. Each script, it cost me $15. So you get one script. After that, print from home. So please tell them not to lose them. I ordered my t-shirts last week. So sometimes kids don't like their roles and they drop and they think, oh, I want a refund. I don't give refunds for getting bad roles because I have already gone and paid for all these costs. I ordered enough scripts. I've ordered enough t-shirts. So sometimes I will do some deals, but like if somebody broke an arm and they can't participate or something like that, I get it. But it's quitting just because you don't like your role is a bad habit to get into, and we should not do that. Tech. Our tech week is very important. It's when we leave our rehearsal stage and we move to our theater. The first day, no kids. It's about me and my team hanging the lights and then programming the lights. But I need some parents to kind of help us out. Sometimes my costume moms like to go in that day and organize all the costumes, hang them up, be organized, ready to go for when the kids do come. We will send out a thing that you will sign up for, and you can join the costuming crew or stage crew or building crew, all that kind of stuff. That'll come down. Keep your kids healthy during Tech Week. These dates are in stone. I had you sign an initial and multiple different things. Our tech starts June 6th. The kids come on June 7th. It's a Friday. And our shows, I'm holding their space until June 20th. It's looking like I'm going to be done by June 16th, which I know there's a few kids that have to go to camp and a few that were traveling the week of the 17th. So I'm trying to finish it early. I will know all those dates by Friday. So everybody filled out these orange forms. And if you didn't, I've gone on our website because you should have all put out your audition form. If you forgot, oh, I've got Grandpa's 75th birthday in middle of June. Let me know now. Your deadline's Friday because I'm going off what everybody put on those forms. I've gotten a couple of emails from people, oh, JoJo, we just got to save the date for a wedding. I noted in there things, and then I juggle everything around. Once I set the schedule, which I aim to do this weekend, it's set in stone. You get 2 performances, so please let me know what your conflicts are. You won't know, you just know that window, June 6th to June 20th. Let me know any conflicts, every conflict. Okay. Okay. By now, if you haven't paid your cast fees, please do so. If I email you and say, hey, did you pay cast fees? It's because Venmo is separate from my website, and I can't tell. I have to go into Venmo separately. So a lot of you paid via Venmo. It's fine. It doesn't note it on my website if somebody paid through Venmo. It does on PayPal, so I'm good there. Okay, that's it. See, it's 7:03. I started at 6:35. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and give me and ask me. Oh, wait, here's a chat going down. Hold on. Okay. Oh, wow. Heather Bowen, you went to USC Film School too? Huh, very cool. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, I had mentioned when we signed up that we'll be out of town June 7th, but I just heard you say that's kind of mandatory tech. So
It's
that's
depending on what cast you're in. If you put it on your yellow form, then I won't put your tech that day.
okay. And you said you'll let us know soon, like when the tech and when the performances are, right?
Yes, that I'm aiming to do this week.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is Natalie on here? I'd love for Natalie kind of talk about Amazon because we do a lot of buying on Amazon. Natalie around? How about Sarah? So in a couple of weeks, we do an Amazon wish list. If you can afford certain things or you want your kid to have their own wig kind of thing, we're going to make recommendations for you. Usually we do like a base costume underneath that you kind of want your kid to have their own because they're going to sweat in it. For the last few shows, they've been these onesies. If you saw Moana, the Ocean Girls had a blue onesie. Other kids have had tan ones in the past, and you just kind of keep wearing the same tan one. Sometimes you can get away with tank top and dance shorts. So, but you'll see that Amazon wish list. A lot of stuff that we use to build our costumes from come off that too. Katie. Katie Ciccarelli, got you.
Hi, Jojo.
Hi.
I was just wondering, you might have mentioned, but I know last show we had like the Sunday choreography, but in the past we haven't. Are we doing that?
It kind of failed, so we're
Oh
not.
no.
Yeah, it's okay. We did last that was the last group where we did like these choreography breaks on Sunday. I'm not going to do that this go around. We kind of took the time on Sunday with my choreographers and picked dance captains. So they're going to kind of learn who are the dance captains.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jojo, oh,
Yes.
I had a question. Yes, if we have a skill or if our kiddo has a skill that could help with sewing and costume, alterations and things like that, should we just email you?
Yes, email me. And in fact, I have a high schooler. I think he's 14 or 15 now, named Mika. He is planning to build all the silly girl costumes because he loves corseting. So he did all the ocean costumes in the last show, made all the little ocean skirts and whatnot. So he was like working his buns off. He had made like 25 of those things. So he would love help.
Great. I'll email you.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Okay. I am not big on picking up my telephone if you haven't figured that one out, just because I have a 310 number. And so a lot of people don't pick up my phone calls because they go, who's this person from Los Angeles? If you text me, I'll call you back. If you email me, it's when I'm on my computer and I can kind of send you different stuff. I've been really busy the last couple of days. My daughter's in town from college and I'm picking up somebody at the train station in 20 minutes. So just been busy.
Jojo, there was one more question in the chat, but I was
Yeah.
wondering the same thing about rehearsals during spring break.
We are not having rehearsals during spring break.
And what is spring break for you guys, Jojo?
Spring break is the 31st through the 7th.
Okay, so no rehearsals those weeks.
We
Okay.
will have rehearsal on the 7th, but not Easter's the 31st. So we're not going to have an Easter, but the following Sunday I will have rehearsal. The following Sunday. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do crafting that week because I'm in town, and it's just getting myself organized. So if you're around, please come that Thursday from 10 to noon as going to be our first craft day. And just so you know, our art teacher is having an art camp that week. It goes from 9 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like first, second, third. So many of you have started taking his art classes and he's wonderful. Okay. See any other? Oh, is the play going to be at, the play will be at Roger Row. Somebody asked if the play's going to be at Roger Row, and it will be at Roger Row. Okay. Well, I see a bunch of emails coming through. I got to get to the train. And if you have more questions, shoot me an email. I'm pretty much an open book. I've been doing this for a while, and it's going to be an awesome show. Okay. So thank you all.
Thanks, JoJo.
I'm turning off the recording. See you later.